Something strange is happening on dealer lots this year. Trade-in rows are filling up with trucks that still smell new, barely broken in, a few with under 15,000 miles, and the salespeople can't quite explain why so many owners are bailing out this fast. I can. After enough years of pulling these things apart, I know exactly which 2026 trucks are boomeranging back onto the lot, which ones are triggering lemon law buybacks, and which ones have owners begging their bank to let them out of the loan. Today I'm counting down 7 brand new trucks that millions of Americans are returning right now. And number 1, it just earned the worst reliability score I have ever seen a pickup get. Let's get into it. Number 7, GMC Canyon and Chevy Colorado. I am starting midsize because this is the one people do not see coming. On paper, the Canyon and its twin, the Colorado, look like the smart buy, right size, strong torque, handsome truck, and mechanically they are mostly fine. The Turbo Max 4-cylinder has proved its mettle over several years, and the Colorado does not suffer from any major mechanical issues. So why is it on a return list? Because the thing that sends people back to the dealer is not always the engine. It is the screen that will not stop rebooting. Ever since the redesign in 2023, one of the Canyon's biggest gremlins has been electrical glitches, and software issues were the single biggest complaint on the Chevy side as well. I had a contractor bring one in, convinced the transmission was dying. It turned out the truck kept dropping its backup camera and freezing the gauge cluster on cold mornings. Nothing was mechanically wrong. It was code. Here's the good news buried in that. The 2026 Colorado has no recalls for its own model year, and the one open recall covers 2023 through 2026, so any truck built after 2024 should already have the software fix. J.D. Power gives it a quality and reliability score of 83 out of 100. So my advice on this one is simple. Do not return it. Update it. Before you panic trade a Canyon or Colorado, take it to the dealer and confirm every infotainment and body control software recall has been flashed. 9 times out of 10, that fixes the haunted truck behavior for free. Buy an early 2023 that never got the update though, and you will understand exactly why they end up back on the lot. That is the one you can save. This next truck is the one people trade in and do not look back. Number 6, Ford Maverick Hybrid. The Maverick did something brilliant. It made a small, cheap, fuel-sipping truck cool again, and Ford couldn't build them fast enough. But popularity and reliability are 2 different animals, and this is where owners are getting burned. Across Ford's lineup, the least reliable model is their smallest pickup, the Maverick with the hybrid powertrain. The pattern I see is death by 1,000 cuts. It's rarely one catastrophic failure, it's a rear-view camera recall, then a software campaign, then a trim piece, then a warning light nobody at the counter can decode. For a truck people bought specifically to be a no-drama commuter, that's the exact opposite of what they signed up for. When your $28,000 economy truck spends more mornings at the service desk than a $70,000 diesel, you return it out of pure frustration. If you still want one, and I get it, the value is real, here's how to protect yourself. First, run the VIN through NHTSA before you sign anything and confirm every open recall is closed. Second, buy the later build years, not the launch year. Ford quietly cleans up the early production bugs as they go. Third, if you're cross-shopping, price out the non-hybrid version. You lose some miles per gallon, but you shed a whole layer of hybrid system complexity that's driving a lot of these returns. The Maverick's problems are annoying. The next 3 trucks, their problems are the kind that end up on the evening news. Number 5, Rivian R1T. I want to be fair here because this one's complicated. The R1T is one of the most impressive vehicles to drive that I've ever gotten my hands on. In Consumer Reports' 2026 Owner Satisfaction Survey, Rivian scored highest of any brand for the third year running, and a staggering 91% of R1T owners said they would buy the truck again. People love it, and people are still returning it. Both things are true, because loving how something drives doesn't help you when it won't leave the garage. Rivian's own model rates the R1T at just 2.7 out of 5 for reliability, landing it in the caution tier, driven by above-average complaint volume in the early software and electrical systems. Consumer Reports has ranked Rivian near the very bottom of the entire industry for reliability, one of the least dependable brands they survey. The complaints cluster around electronics, driver assist behavior, and the electrical architecture. There have been multiple recalls in a short window covering suspension, seat belts, lighting, and driver assist systems. And the service experience makes it worse, and owners report scheduling nightmares and delays, some waiting months for repairs because of parts shortages. That's the killer. A bug you could live with. A bug plus a 3-month wait for a part while your truck sits dead? That's a lemon law buyback waiting to happen. So who should actually own one? If you live near a service hub, you've got a backup vehicle, and you enjoy being an early adopter, a well-vetted R1T can be a genuine thrill. If you have zero tolerance for downtime, or you're an hour from the nearest Rivian service center, walk away, no matter how good that acceleration feels on the test drive. Rivian's a young company still finding its feet. This next one has no such excuse. Number 4, Ford F-150, and specifically the PowerBoost Hybrid. The best-selling truck in America for decades lands on this list, and it earns its spot 2 different ways. Let's start with the headline. In April 2026, Ford recalled roughly 1.4 million F-150 pickups after federal regulators identified a transmission defect that can trigger an unexpected downshift, a serious crash risk. Ford is aware of 2 injuries and 1 accident potentially tied to it. The problem? Electrical connections in the transmission degrade and cause an unintended drop to a lower gear. And if it drops several gears, the rear tires can slide and you lose control. That's not a rattle. That's a truck deciding to downshift for you at highway speed while you're towing. And this isn't a one-off for Ford. Ford set a record for the number of recalls it issued last year, and there's a separate recall on some F-150s from 2024 to 2025 for transmission valve, body machining errors that can cause reverse gear failure or unexpected movement. Now the hybrid. The PowerBoost is supposed to be the smart F-150, the one that powers your house and sips fuel. Instead, the very system that's meant to be the selling point is what's failing. Auto experts point to the battery system as problematic, with a history of glitches and failure, and the regenerative braking that can make stopping feel jerky and uncomfortable. Here's my honest take. The gas F-150 is still a good truck once these recalls are closed, so don't reflexively dump yours. Get the free software update done, confirm it, and keep driving. But if you're shopping the PowerBoost specifically, go in eyes open. You're buying extra complexity on a truck brand that just had its worst recall year on record. That's a lot of risk for a fuel economy bump. 2 of the trucks left are electric or engine disasters people are actively trying to give back. Number 3 is the one everybody's filming for social media. Number 3, Tesla Cybertruck. You knew it was coming. The Cybertruck is less a finished truck and more a rolling science experiment, and the recall list reads like a comedy sketch until you realize people paid 6 figures for these. Let me just walk the highlights. Tesla recalled Cybertrucks over faulty wheel studs, cracks in the brake rotor stud holes that could let a wheel separate from the hub while driving, which can make you lose control or literally lose a wheel. More than 46,000 were recalled because a stainless steel exterior trim panel could fall off at speed. Over 63,000 were flagged because the front parking lights were too bright and could blind oncoming drivers. There was an accelerator pedal recall where a rubber pad could detach and jam the pedal, and a backup camera recall for the feed not showing up fast enough in reverse. And that's before the everyday stuff. Owners report panel gaps, misaligned doors, wind noise, water leaks around the doors and bed, and even orange rust-colored specks showing up on a truck that was advertised as nearly indestructible. The single giant windshield wiper has been a recurring headache, noisy, poor coverage, and intermittent failures that led to delivery holds. The reason these come back isn't one fatal flaw. It's the sheer volume of little indignities on a very expensive vehicle. Nobody expects to spend $80,000 plus and then argue with a dealer about a wiper. If you're buying a used one anyway, do this. Get the 17-digit VIN, run it through the official NHTSA recall site, and make the seller show you a no open recall screenshot from the Tesla app before you sign. On a truck with this many campaigns, that step alone can save you thousands. Number 2, though, this one hurts me to say, because it wears a badge that used to mean bulletproof. Number 2, Toyota Tundra. For a generation, Toyota and reliable were the same word. The current Tundra is testing that faith like nothing I've seen from this brand. And the problem isn't trim or software. It's the engine grenading itself. Inside the 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6, main bearings are failing, spinning in the block, dropping oil pressure to zero, and seizing engines, sometimes while driving at highway speed. Read that again. Not a check engine light. Not a rattle. A brand new Toyota truck losing its engine on the interstate. The problem has pushed Toyota to recall over 250,000 trucks. And the truly alarming part is that even with an updated design, engines being built today still aren't completely immune to the defect. In many cases, the fix has been a full engine replacement, and this has become the defining reliability story of the current generation Tundra. Here's the detail that keeps owners up at night. Toyota first blamed manufacturing debris, but replacement engines have failed the exact same way, which points squarely at a design flaw rather than a bad batch. Pile on the rest recalls for completely blank backup cameras and tonneau covers physically flying off the bed at speed, and you understand why Tundra owners are lining up at the return desk despite loving the brand. My guidance is blunt. If you own a 2022 through 2024 Tundra with the twin-turbo V6, do not ignore any knocking, rough running, or power loss. Get it to Toyota immediately and confirm your VIN engine recall status. And if you're shopping used, this is one of the rare times I'll tell you the old truck is the safer bet. A previous generation Tundra with the naturally aspirated V8 will outlast the new one and won't leave you stranded on the shoulder. If a seized Toyota engine is number 2, what could possibly be number 1? The truck that just made history for all the wrong reasons? Real quick, if this kind of straight talk saves you from a 5-figure mistake, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I dig through the recall data so you don't have to, and I've got more videos coming on which trucks are actually worth your money. Now, number one, Ram 1500. I've been doing this a long time, and I have never seen a score like this. Scoring an apocalyptic 5 out of 100, the 2026 Ram 1500 is officially the worst pickup truck Consumer Reports has ever evaluated. 5 out of 100. That's not below average. That's a truck failing on nearly every axis they measure. Let me tell you how a truck earns a 5. It starts with a parasitic keyless entry system that drains the battery overnight, so owners walk out to a dead truck in the morning for no reason. From there, it's a spread of engine failures, electrical meltdowns, braking issues, and software bugs. The through line, according to the data, is over-engineering, complexity piled on complexity until reliability collapses under its own weight. And this isn't just the new stuff. The Ram has a track record. The most significant recall covers more than 1 million trucks from 2021 to 2024, where a software fault in the ABS module can disable electronic stability control, a direct safety problem, especially in slippery conditions. On the Hemi V8 trucks, the well-known Hemi tick is often tied to exhaust manifold bolt failures on cold starts. And the replacement for that V8 isn't proven yet either. The new Hurricane twin-turbo inline-6 is early in its life, and owners are already reporting check engine lights, misfires, and cooling and thermostat issues. So you've got a truck with a battery that dies overnight, a stability system that can shut off, an old engine with a bolt problem, and a new engine that's unproven. That is the definition of a truck people return. When Consumer Reports hands you the lowest score in the history of the category, that's not an opinion. That's a warning. My advice? If you're set on a half-ton from this brand, wait. Let the Hurricane 6 get a couple more model years of real-world data before you trust it. And never buy one of these without confirming that the million-plus truck ABS recall has been completed. If a salesman is discounting a new Ram 1500 hard right now, ask yourself why the lot is so full of them. So there it is, 7 brand new trucks Americans are handing back in 2026. The GMC Canyon and Colorado. You can usually save with a software flash, the Ford Maverick hybrid that nickels and dimes you into a trade-in. The Rivian R1T you'll love right up until you need a part. The F-150 with a 1.4 million truck transmission recall and a hybrid system that fights you at every stop. The Cybertruck with a recall list longer than the owner's manual. The Tundra dropping engines on the highway. And the Ram 1500, the lowest scoring pickup Consumer Reports has ever tested. You don't have to take my word for any of it. Every one of these has a VIN lookup at nhtsa.gov, and it's free. Before you buy any new truck this year, run the recalls, read the score, and don't let a smiling salesman rush you past the reason that lot is so crowded. If this saved you from a mistake, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Drive safe and check your recalls before you check your rear view.